Back at Wino Park, part 2 of the RHIL preview. It's midweeks this time.
And somebody did ask me, Mark, to suggest my my drop of choice on a Tuesday evening. Which actually is celebratorial as well, because we got Dreamforce up, we got Dr. Sykes up, and we got Savan finally got up, who I've been spruiking for a while now. And thank God it got up there at $5 for me. So it's happy days yet again. This is Saltram Mamre Brook. It's one of my favourite wineries. Normal nights, Mamre Brook. Special occasions, Saltram #1. There we go.
All right, that's the good juice from the Enophile Auto, who I had down as a beer drinker prior to this show. But anyway, race 5 on the card. Now we fill right out with some field sizes in the back half of the program. Fillies and mares 1500. We could only get a handful for the Saturday equivalent, but the Saturday mares have turned up here and they've been added to by the midweek collection. Favourite is Cottage at $3.20, out to Long Kiss Goodnight at $7, Labdien at $8, $10 You Are Golden, $10 Countess Marinov, $13 Chloe's Comet, and $18 Shoe Peg. If I missed a runner there, it doesn't seem like enough percentage, but there we go. A bit of a tail on the race. Chloe's Comet looks our leader. Cottage will certainly posse up. She's got the speed to be there. Next best, sort of Long Kiss Goodnight, perhaps You Are Golden. There's a few sort of scrubbers around. Wings could poke forward from her wide gate. Cry for Peace could hold her inside draw. Any interest here, Gord?
Just a little bit.
Hello?
This is an absolute moral #3 Cottage. When you actually lightly raced, won its last start, but if you watch its last start when it ran round at Wyong, it didn't get balanced up because of the tight turning track until about until the last 100 metres, 150 metres, and it put 3 lengths on them within the twinkling of an eye. This is a serious horse. It will be winning tomorrow. It's at Rose Hill. It's a bigger track. It's barrier 6. Shouldn't get into trouble. It's got the best jockey on it, James McDonald. This thing will be winning. And I think we're going to, even late in betting tomorrow, maybe get a decent price because of that old Melbourne form, Countess Marinov, and the way it flew last start. But
it's $10.
I'm super keen Cottage.
It's $10. Okay. Well,
I know, I was very surprised. But that's what I'm saying. Late, we still might get a price later on betting because they might actually come for it.
Okay. No argument there from me. All I would want to say about the race is that Chloe's Comet at $13 seems excessive, given that she's a Waterhouse runner up in distance and looks the only leader. Race 6.
Is that all, Mark? Seriously?
Well, is there any? There's not much more to talk about. Like, whatever we had once was gone.
Well, then let's do it now. $3.20 and $10.
$13, yeah. Yeah, look, you made a compelling case there, Gord. I'm not going to argue against you. I'm not going to take up the cudgel.
No million there?
No, it's a last start winning mare. I mean, there are a few last start winning mares in this race. You Are Golden, yeah, which, you know, I don't know if you call her last start a win. Cottage, Countess Marinov, and Romney's Choice. Move on to race 6, which is over the short course. So we're back to the third 1100 metre race for the program. This time to the older horses. Reincarnate is our favourite, $4.60. The resuming mare, Yuma Desert, $5. Painted Firetail, last up winner back in distance at $6. A GNC up from the 1000 is at $8. Arise Augustus is $10. $13 Highly Geared. A winner at this course and distance 2 starts back on a Saturday. And $16 the resuming Donnell. I've missed Sir Plush, another resumer at $13. And I have a GNC spearing out to the lead from her wide gate. Lion Couchant hard on speed, Grand Condor hard on speed, Highly Geared on pace, Arise Augustus not far away, and Donnell snagging back tomorrow, as were her stablemates in a recent Saturday race. Who were they? B-Shin last race winner, whose name just escapes me. But anyway, Gord, any interest here?
Yes.
It's a bit of a blur, isn't it?
It was a blur, except for the fact that we made so much money last preparation out of form around Yuma Desert.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it came out of those, all the horses that ran near it were actually winning races, and it's, you know how we're quite keen on finding the right form race and then backing anything that comes out of it. Well, it was one that was an absolute goldmine last preparation, so I have to trust that and go with Yuma Desert. Now, obviously, that's going against a pet hate of me in the fact that it only had a 730 metre trial, but...
Hang on, what's going on here?
I know, but it's Snowden, and remember I said you can completely ignore the trials about Snowden.
What about the fact that he's put the boy on it?
That's just weirded me out too, but he put the kid on in the trial. Like, I don't know what to make of it. That's why I'm slightly confused, because I first look at the race, I thought I'm going to find Yuma Desert strongly, but there's a few question marks there. And then I don't know whether I actually conned myself or not, but I watched that trial past the post quite a few times. And I know it was only 7...
Looking for an excuse, just
I know,
trying to break the rules.
It sounds like cherry picking data, doesn't it? Yeah,
it's
I know.
like I've given up smoking, but I'm sure I can construct a way that I can have a cigarette.
Yeah. No.
I'm sure there's some way I can think of that will rationalise it away. All right, so you've put yourself on a knife edge there.
I put myself on a nice edge. I'm definitely going to back the horse. But with those reservations and question marks involved.
Yeah, it looked a bit icky to me. She of course won the 3 races in a row, and then was poorly ridden at her most recent appearance. She resumes in the right sort of race, although she looks like she has to sit here.
Yeah.
But, you know, she made a virtue of leading.
Don't you think maybe that's what they're thinking too, by putting the 3 kilo claiming and presence on, that they're actually going to be more aggressive?
I think that they thought they got lucky last preparation. Maybe they're just sort of starting again.
Well, how did they get lucky? It spanked Toughest Teak and Louis C.K. over 1,100 metres at
Who are they?
Well, they're horses that won multiple races after that.
Yeah, at the provincials.
Still franked.
Look, great chance, Yuma Desert, but I'm not barring up. I looked at the stablemate Donnell, who went off in a big way towards the end of last campaign, and she's only won those 2 races consecutively for Gay along in another lifetime, but she fits the mould, doesn't she?
I'm in total agreement with you there off trial watching. I thought they were in the same trial, Donnell and Yuma Desert, and I thought Donnell's trial was better.
And then she went and
what?
had a 1,000 metre trial.
No, she had a 1,000 metre trial first, then the 730.
Sorry,
yeah.
But I mean, she had the 1,000 metre trial.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's just lacking a bit of form, of course.
Mm.
Aegean Sea was a lucky winner first up, but I can see her giving a fair amount of cheek here.
I'm sort of penning that because the jockey didn't ride out of Rise of Augustus.
Well, that's what it looked like, but you know, you could just argue that the GNC kept fighting.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
a 1,000 metre form doesn't really fit anywhere, so I can see why the market is not very keen on her. Reincarnate. Talk about Reincarnate.
Well, I was going to ask you the same question, so can you please talk about Reincarnate?
Well, he's a bit of a bully that he broke his maiden at Goulburn, then he went to Kembla and mowed down To Be Sure, who was on the inside. He did a good job on that occasion. Then he went to 1,300 at home and controlled the race. Mm. I don't know why he's still at 1,100 when he found 1,100 a bit nicky, a bit niggly for him at Canterbury. I guess the thinking is maybe get him to Rose Hill, but I suspect this is a bit of a control freak. No, I'm not scared by him. I think he's got a chance, but I think he's very well found. And what about the stablemate who we'll decide is the first up horse? Does that mean she can't win coming back to 1,100 here? Painted Firetail, she looks poorly drawn.
I am leaning towards you on that one as well. Like I thought it was such a great find of yours. When you remember when you mentioned about all its best runs were first up?
Yeah.
And you convinced me, so I had a saver on it, so I was very happy. Thank you, Mark. But does that just mean that I'm penning it now, or, you know, it's still lightly raced. It's a mare who's won its last start. There's some sort of ticks there, aren't there?
And Jay McDonald could have ridden it.
Because it is 57 kilos, so it's not out of his realm, is it?
Not sure what to make of that. What about Surplus? Should he get a run? Who?
I don't care.
Baker,
isn't it?
No? He's very good horse at Bathurst.
So?
That's one of your regions, isn't it? Can't you give us a line-up here?
Yeah, I can give you a line-up, no chance.
That's the 1100 metre short course. And yes, for the record, I'm spruiking Donnell in that race. It's a bit of a wild tip there. The nightcap, Glenn's not here to steal it from me, is over 1500. And what have we got here? We've got another 2-year-old, Akatur at $4.80. Balmain Boy at $5.50. Out to, well, the very heavily backed last week, Tatush at $8.50. Bentals, who we've not seen, at $9.50. Tower of Song, Glenn's fucking moral from Rose Hill Saturday at $10.
Could he be a race too late? Or too early, sorry, too early.
Yeah, $11 Royal Jackpot, who I'm very sick of. Dragonfly at $12, everyone's sick of it as well, obviously. $17 Tears of Heaven, $18 Game Pie. Is there anything else to speak of? $21 or $26 Bar. Now, Bentals looks a designated leader. He's down from Brisbane. Went to Ballarat route. Triple Hero will be on speed. Balmain Boy I'd expect to be a bit closer tomorrow. Dragonfly punching up with his blinkers back on. Can I Have perhaps making a nuisance for himself from the deep. And Tariff Song has the potential to go forward from Whitegate should his rider desire. Fairly dense race to finish, Gord. You've got firstly a comment to make about the 2-year-old?
Well, it's lightly raced, so it doesn't have enough conviction for me to completely pen it.
Morton's Forks only had 5 runs. He penned it.
No. Of course I'm against it.
You're going?
Yeah. But I've got to go for
it's
the horse.
It's got legless form, but it's lightly raced, as you say.
Yeah. So it's never just like... So for me, it's just like I took an opinion on Morton's Fork because there are other lightly raced horses in the race, but there's very few lightly raced horses in this race, aren't there?
Yeah, I suppose
there's all exposed form.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously going to be against Akator, but I admit that it has some sort of ability. I struggled with this race. I had to go with my favourite form technique, which is alliteration. Now
you're just taking the piss.
I kind of am, actually. Yeah, no, I think that Balmain Boy coming out of those far superior races last preparation, second up over the 1500 metres, it seemed like a pretty good pipe opener last week, posted wide and sort of like was plugging away at the end there. I think that'll improve it dramatically for second up. I think Lesbridge's stable, after the fantastic run on Saturday of Zenalicious, is maybe starting to show a little bit of form, so I clearly have number 6 Balmain Boy on top. The other ones I had a look at was just purely because of position in preparation and also closeness to Saturday performed horses, was number 3 Can I Have and number 4 Tower of Song.
Can I Have? Talk to me about Can I Have.
I'm just going off the fact that Moorgame was heavily backed on a decent Saturday program.
In a distance race.
In a distance race, yeah. And it was 0.2 lengths off Beretta, who was, you know, in winning form. I'm grasping at straws here.
Okay. A Balmain Boy, solid tip there because he wasn't given much hope there first up, and clearly he seems primed for tomorrow. Akatora, I hated the race that he won on debut, and then he actually did quite a good job at his second start with Sam Clipperton seemed to lose his compass. And then he's rounded them up in a slowly run race the other day. Obviously things worked out for him, small field, blah, 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 right lane, but I don't know what I'm saying. Look, I honestly could entertain Dragonfly here with the blinkers back on a quick backup with Deanne on board. And Tears in Heaven is a horse that's doing something at the moment. She was the best run in the race 2 starts back in the for 2 Mona Lisa up the slow lane there. Triple Hero did something last start. He's an on-pacer that's not really good enough, but we'll poke along there. It's not enthusing me, so we'll just have to wrap it up there, Gord. Now,
Bet of the day for me,
fucking moral, what is it?
sell your house and put it all on cottage.
To buy a cottage. You want to sell a house to buy a cottage.
That's downgrading. Let's say we sold our house in the west and we bought a cottage in Bronte. Does that make sense then?
In the west? Well, how far west? You know, it's still pretty ritzy at Strathfield.
Let's go for Bathurst. We did mention that forms.
I'm very much enamoured of the prospects of the debutante Shackleton in race 2, number 10. That's our midweek preview. Don't forget that there are, of course, things to buy tomorrow. You can purchase selections of mine. You can purchase comprehensive form of mine. You can get yourself ready for the weekend with Mounting Yard Mail or Mix Melbourne Mail, which will be on sale for Friday night, Saturday and Sunday. I haven't yet determined a package there, and watch out for the Friday preview show, which will be hopefully brought to you as early as possible on Friday, covering...
Look, I think we have to mention the fact that the best products that's ever been offered by this show, as far as I'm concerned, is the Glen Ponnet Mounting Yard Mail and the Mark Lamborn 4-top selections in a package for $40 a week.
That's right. So you get
It's absolutely brilliant. But anyway, if you don't want to buy it, well, anyway,
yeah. Anyway, you're getting about 50 races there from me each week, and obviously the Mounting Yard Mail, which is the highlight of Saturday. So check that product out. The combo. It's Mounting Yard Mail and the Mark Top 4. So I'll be back. We'll be back with Glenn, who'll be primed and ready to go for an Epsom Day coverage of Randwick on Friday. Catch you then.
Stay up.